there's a stark difference in the way that the Dice Tower promotes extreme leftism, their LGBTQ propaganda, the BLM riots, the grooming of children, and the way that they treat common conservatives who actually aren't even that political online. It's really bizarre to watch this, but we could see that there's a social agenda going on in these influencer circles in board gaming. Now, I have been exposing this over the last week. There's several videos on this, and you can check out my channel for more of that. But today, I actually have an email from a former Dice Tower viewer to Tom Vasel. And it's interesting to see how he responds in comparison to how he's treated me, how he's treated Robert Burke, how he's treated TGG Games, and others in the space who are just trying to exist here without being harassed by people like Tom Vasel for our politics and for our religion. It's very sad to watch. All right, so here we are. My name is John Delarose, if you don't know who I am. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. I've been fighting the culture war really since 2016. What happened was when I came out of the closet as a person who voted for Trump in 2016, I got just a wave of crazy harassment from these extreme leftists who have tried to cancel me ever since then. I just posted myself in a Trump hat. I was happy for the outcome of the election. I got a nasty email from my editor at the time, who actually works in board gaming and all that. Her name's Jennifer Brozek. And her assistant told me that I'd never be invited to be published again. Oh, well. Well, these people, this is the deal. They expect you to just be quiet and go away. They expect that maybe I'll get an email back and it'll be gone. I can just harass these people. I can try to ruin their livelihoods. I can try to cancel them so they can't show up at conventions like Tom Vasel's done to me now. And they think it'll just go away and it'll be fine. They think there's no repercussions for doing so. Well, you know what? In 2022, we've really started to fight back as a group, as Christians, as conservatives. We're saying enough is enough. We're not going to deal with this persecution any longer. And you can see this by the fact that we're growing, we're winning. This comic Overmind right here has done incredible numbers, my biggest to date, and I really appreciate you guys being there. So that link's in the description below. It's a science fiction graphic novel. If you like comics, it's there. I also have novels, so I do both. And we'll be expanding our properties into board and card games very soon. So thank you guys for supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. The fact that you're here with us is why we can actually fight back and win. If I was doing this by myself, it wouldn't work. But it's all you guys, and I appreciate you and your support. All right. So I want to get into this email. This is actually from 2020. So this is how long the Dice Tower has really been on their war against Christians and conservatives. And you can see it based on their content. This was a viewer, much like I was. I was a person who supported their Kickstarters. I was a big fan. And Tom Vasel decided to personally take out the trash, as he referred to it, by removing me. Absolutely crazy. Now, it's interesting how he talks about me as trash and how I have to be removed. I'm like dangerous to be in spaces, to exist. I can't possibly board game. But when an SJW does this and treats half the country like just a horrible, horrible, people, and actually ostracizes a lot of people from board gaming, Tom Vasel says, "Welcome to the channel. Join the Dice Tower." And this is the hypocrisy that he's done in order to promote these hatred of normal people, this hatred of Christians, and this hatred of conservatives across the board. So here we go. Here's the email from one of his viewers, and thank you for sending this to me. I appreciate all the information and the outcry of support that we've gotten. It's not going well for the Dice Tower, guys. It's really not. All right. So here it is, and we'll get into this right now. So the viewer says, the Dice Tower has been a Trojan horse for woke social justice warriors for a long time. People like Mandy, Suzanne, Danny from your Bippy, Rado, the brothers Murph in their Antifa gear, Chaz and Eric Lang and others are activists first and gamers second. I just wanted to be, by the way, for me, I just wanted to be able to write my science fiction novels and comics and game. I was kind of forced into this because, again, I just made a post happy about the election in 2016, and these people started coming after me, and they never stop. They never stop. This hit its climax when the Dice Tower erased tons of family-safe posts about an unprovoked attack on a libertarian by violent leftist Matt Fantastic. So this is an interesting story right here, and this is about The Quartering. So The Quartering is a journalist and a cultural commentator. He's not even really that right wing, and so he has been on the scene. He's a big gaming guy, if you guys didn't know, because he's kind of transitioned. Because again, he was kind of forced into it because he got banned from these spaces just for his YouTube content and his views, just like I'm getting banned now. And what happened was he went to Gen Con, and Matt Fantastic attacked him, like physically assaulted him. And what did Gen Con do? They banned the quartering because of his views. And Matt Fantastic is totally allowed to go to Gen Con anytime. They're allowed to violently assault you. And when Matt Fantastic's on the Dice Tower, look at this. If people are posting about it, the Dice Tower tries to erase it, tries to memory hole it, tries to get rid of it. Why do they do this? They do this to protect the leftist mob. Again, they're totally fine with these people even violently assaulting you. They're not going to get banned from the Dice Tower convention. A violent assaulter is welcome at the Dice Tower convention. Me, because I make YouTube content that's Christian and conservative, not allowed at the Dice Tower. You see how it works? It's absolutely insidious how this is done. It's terrible. This needs to stop in board gaming, and that's why we're doing this right here. It took away many people's rights to post, including mine. So this guy got banned simply for saying, "Hey, dude, why are you supporting this guy who's violently attacking a YouTuber?" Crazy. Matt Loader seems to be good friends with Mandy, Suzanne, Octavian, Stephen Bunacore. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. I wonder why you actively protected him. Yeah, that's exactly it. You know why, and that's why you're asking the question. So look at this. This is a viewer, a fan of the Dice Tower, and he's going to get banned from posting because he is supporting the quartering, who is a YouTuber who Tom, again, can't allow to have his own opinions. It all has to be banned, all because of politics. And this is what the Dice Tower does. All right. So that was when I unsubbed, which was sad because I've been with you since the startup on YouTube. Me too, my friend. I was with the Dice Tower for a very long time, since before they really got big, and it's really sad to watch this. I went from watching 95 to your content to about 5% of your content. The Dice Tower's rants about women, or the lack of women in gaming, this is done on their channel too, as if the system is that's holding them back from hordes of women from the gaming table. This is something SJWs like to do. So if you look at the guys on the Dice Tower, they're not guys who had traditional success with women. Let's just put it that they're dorks, right? And so they always take these feminist angles because to them that's how they're going to get some female attention. And this is what a lot of feminists do. Is they go, oh, we need equality and more women in these spaces, and it's an active attempt to get women to pay attention. They don't realize they're doing it; it's subconscious. But that's the deal. So they're not normal people, so they have this hyper fixation on women and that feminism, and that's where that mentality comes from. Very interesting that they promote those sort of things on there. So men and women are on average have different interests, and that's okay. Very true. Viewers have to suffer through junk videos like 4 or so women ranting about sexual harassment in gaming, or what the real title should have been, quote, socially awkward women that lack agency. Hobby board gaming is disproportionately white social space, and many people of color do not feel welcome at our tables, they also say in the Dice Tower videos. Very bizarre. Why are people of color just afraid of white people? They shouldn't be. I don't know. It's a rabbit hole. The NBA and NFL teams are black social spaces. Many white people do not feel welcome. That's true. Outcomes do not prove racism, sexism. Correlation does not prove causation. But you put up an Eric Lang video for him to spew his leftist propaganda. That was right. They put a politics and board gaming video up with Eric Lang to sit there and screech about Black Lives Matter for an hour. And Tom Vasel just sat there and ate it up because this is what they promote at the Dice Tower. This is what they're trying to force on your families, your children, every time. Facts don't care about your feelings or Eric Lang's feelings. Chaz and the brothers Murph attacked and tried to get an SJW mob to attack a board game site just for saying they would like to stay apolitical. What kind of Christian are you? Yeah, that's the thing. And this is the bizarre thing. These guys will never stand up for anybody who's not approved of by this mob. The Dice Tower has all this clout, but they're so afraid of the clout circles around them that they'll never do what's right. Tom is a little quisling weasel who is so scared of losing even a couple of subs, that he'll totally gravitate towards this stuff, and that's how it goes. So honestly, and that's why we're doing what we do, because if their social pressure is this much that it matters, the only way to fight back is to apply social pressure back. And that's what conservatives traditionally have not done for a long time. Because look, you and I, viewer, we have these values where we're like, they can have their opinions, we can have our opinions. That's great. It's a rational sort of thing, and that's what conservatism is. They don't act that way. So when we're in a space when we say, well, they can have their opinions, we can have our opinions, and they say, we're going to ban you and you're not allowed at our convention, screw you. We lose because we have no social pressure on this side. Well, all this side is all the social pressure. So the people in the middle, who are weak, who are Tom Vasel types, right, are going to lean towards the people who are applying that social pressure. So our channel now, because Tom Vasel did this, thanks Tom, is going to dedicate ourselves into pressuring the Dice Tower to not harass conservatives. And it's going to cost them a lot over the years as my channel grows, because we're growing fast, Tom. And so that's how we're going to fight back. That's the only way to fight back at this juncture. You have to apply that social pressure until the weaklings stop their nonsense. And then we can all be friends, because I don't care. I mean, there's nothing personal here. I don't care that Tom called me trash. I don't care that, he's banning me from, I don't really care at the end of the day. I want to just be left alone to board game. And I just want to be able to enjoy the spaces in public that others are allowed to enjoy without fear of being harassed by someone like you, Tom. That's all this is about. So we can end it anytime. But we can also keep going. I'm so excited for this because I love fighting the culture war. I'm a fighter and I'm a winner, and we're gonna win. It's great because we have the truth on our side. So let's keep going with this email. Interesting. This is from one of his viewers again. The purpose of this email is to let you know that my 5% of viewing is going to 0. You've gone too far in letting political ideas and people into your channel. You are no longer safe for children to watch, and my gaming wife, who happens to be a woman, I hope so, you never know these days, is done with you too. That hair that broke the camel's back on allowing your friend, Socialist Rado, to wear a terrorist BLM t-shirt on your channel. Tom would never allow me to, even be on his channel at all, even talking apolitically, let alone wearing like a Trump hat on his channel. Can you imagine? You could see the hypocrisy. BLM is not just some new white guilt slogan, but a loosely formed Marxist-ran organization that is directly responsible for killing people, police, both white and black, and kidnapping a white boy and with learning disabilities and torturing him. Watch the film. He sends links below. It is not hidden information. BLM has been around for years. On their own website, they call for the destruction of the family. Tom should be opposed to this in theory. What kind of Christian are you? They are like Antifa in the sense that they're loosely formed, and so bad deeds could be denied if needed. Yeah, it's a cell thing. They're learning from terrorists. Very true. You claim your goal is inclusion and to grow the gaming industry, but your woke SJW cop propaganda is doing the opposite. This is always the case, and they don't understand this. Like, they try to really push hard for that 0.05% of woke activists. And by doing so, they ostracize 50% of the population. So if they want to be inclusive, it's not that hard. If you look at my channel, for example, we've had gay people on the channel, trans people on the channel before, whatever. But we don't kowtow to their beliefs and all that. We keep our beliefs, and you say if you want to be in our space, that's fine. You have to behave, right? Again, I never did anything. I just was in the Dice Tower Facebook group posting about board games. I never posted politics, nothing. These guys can go radical, assault people, and they're welcome at the Dice Tower, right? That's the difference. So when you actually bend over to that level, you are being not inclusive because you are excluding a lot of people, which is Christians and conservatives in this example. And that's who's going to be removed from board gaming spaces over the next few years, which is really sad. Really sad that Tom's come to this. You claim your goal is inclusion to grow the gaming industry. Your woke SJW propaganda is doing the opposite. It is divisive and will hurt your channel and the gaming industry as a whole. Maybe try to see the other side of the argument and get out of your echo chamber. Farewell. And see, he put some links. So very interesting, great email. Wonderful points all the way around. So there it is. Tom responded to this directly. And it's interesting to see how Tom responded to this. Again, the way he treats this versus the way he treats me or Robert Burke, which we showed in other videos, is just damning evidence that Tom is an anti-Christian social justice warrior. Even though he couches it in terms of Christianity here to try to I guess deflect. But he says, "I'm sorry to see you go." He's not. I believe that the kindness and understanding towards others is what Jesus Christ would have done. So look, whenever it's an SJW, whenever they're violent, whenever they try to harass Christians and conservatives out of places, Tom says we must show them kindness and understanding. When I exist, when I don't even bother those spaces, when I just talk about board games in board game spaces, I must be thrown out like trash because I'm a Christian conservative. You see how that is? It's gaslighting at the end of the day. Tom is gaslighting and using this guy's, the emailer's Christian values against him in order to say, look, you got to be tolerant of these people. You got to let them in these spaces. Moreover, he goes further and says, I disagree with a lot of people on a lot of things. Going to war and kicking them off the show does nothing. Well, that's interesting. So when it's an SJW, you can't go to war with them. It does nothing. Let them fester and let them do this stuff. Let them riot. Let them attack the quartering. We gotta embrace them in our spaces. It's all because of their social clout. When I exist, just exist because you don't like my YouTube content, Tom, you do go to war with me and you do kick me out of the Dice Tower spaces. Complete hypocrisy. When Robert Burke makes a game, but it's known that he's a conservative, you threaten to blacklist him because of it. That's going to war and kicking them out of spaces. So why do conservatives and Christians have to get war and kicked out of spaces, Tom? But SJWs get to stay and they get to be applauded and you have to coddle them and actually show their politics on your channel. What's up with that? If you don't believe in that, Tom, why would you do that? It's insanity. It's hurting your channel. It's hurting your business. Like, you have to see this as bad long term. Is it worth it to go to war against Christians and conservatives in board gaming? I don't know. That's his deal. So he says, I'm sorry this chases you away. No, he's not. But I do wish you'd see that good 75% of the show is me and the gang here in the studio. So yeah, only 25% of this is this toxic politics that hates you, bro. And that I stand strongly for my values. Yeah, you stand for social justice, Tom. You stand for anti-Christianity, Tom. You stand for anti-America, Tom. And that's what it comes down to at this point. And we're going to keep calling you out on it until you stop doing it. That's it. That's all that this is about. So if you truly believe in inclusivity and all that, include conservatives, include Christians. Don't harass us out of these spaces. Gosh, it really is upsetting to watch this because I don't like to be unpersoned. I don't like watching other people unpersoned. I don't like people like this emailer who are just completely ignored, who are banned from commenting on Tom's channel because Matt Fantastic has to be able to be allowed to assault the quartering without anybody commenting on it, I guess. Absolutely crazy stuff that this world has come to. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This is a big deal in the board game industry. There's a lot of this going on, and we're the only channel here that's exposing this so far. It's going to get bigger because we're going to report the truth. We're going to change the culture so that families aren't going to be harassed out of this business. Not going to happen. We're not going to allow it to happen. And we're going to make board gaming fun again. So thank you. All right. If you want to support the channel and all that, again, you can go to my pre-order here. That link's in the description below, Overmind. I would appreciate you guys checking things out. Let me know what's happening in the comments down below. What do you think about this? Is this crazy? I think it's absolutely crazy how this response is compared to calling me trash. Oh, geez. Well, we'll see what happens here, and we'll keep reporting the news to you guys. God bless you. Have a great Sunday.